Hello everybody, this is Bill Murphy with MMORPG.com, and this is MMOFTW, the week that was in MMO news. This week we're beginning and ending with some Tryon news. First, we're going to start off with something that's a little bittersweet. As I'm sure some of you have heard by now, Devilian, the action RPG MMO from Tryon Worlds and Bluehole Geno, is being shut down on March 5th. We've been wondering probably for months now, considering the lack of interest, it seems, from Bluehole in continuing supporting the product, what exactly we were going to do. I mean, nobody was really playing it anymore. Bluehole Geno has moved on to PUBG and all the success they're having there, and the development of Ascent Infinite Realm, and they kind of just, well, left. I don't know if there's anybody left at Bluehole Geno, which is sort of a subsidiary studio of Bluehole, or if they've all been absorbed into Bluehole and the PUBG Corporation. But, well, yeah, Devilian is going to be no more on March 5th. If you are one of those players who has played it, you will be able to get a pack of things for any one of Tryon's other games, including Arcade, Rift, Trove, or Defiance, or Atlas Reactor. You can actually get the All Freelancer pack from Atlas Reactor. I'm assuming this probably means you can only do this if you don't have an account in those games already. Like, if you're already an Arcade player, you're not going to be able to get a pack in Arcade from the same account that you have your Devilian account on, but you might want to contact Tryon customer service to find out if that's the case. So it's not something we weren't already expecting, but Devilian will be no more on March 5th. So that's the sad news. Now for some good news for Camelot Unchained fans. This week, Mark Jacobs and City State Entertainment announced that they have succeeded in securing another $7.5 million in funding to accelerate development and get the game out. That's right, completely out and launched in 2019. Beta is coming this year, and there are going to be 4 phases of it, and the original backers of Mythic Entertainment are the ones who have invested the $7.5 million into City State Entertainment and Camelot Unchained to get this game completed and out the door. It's going to be awesome. I can't help but feel a little enthused about this information myself, because I feel like we're going to get the Dark Age of Camelot 2.0 we want. Of course, you can go back and still play Dark Age of Camelot if you want, but everybody wants something a little more updated. There's nothing wrong with that either, and Camelot Unchained certainly seems like it could be just that. So hopefully we'll hear more about that soon. The NDA will eventually drop on the alpha and beta testing, and we'll all see what it plays like. Hopefully it's good. Until then, it's just good news that there are some people that still believe in MMOs willing to invest in them once again. And in World of Warcraft news this week, 7.3.5, what a fun name for a patch, released to the live servers that included class updates for the Hunter, the Monk, the Priest, the Rogue, the Shaman, the Warlock, and the Warrior, a combination of difficulty levels for Ulduar to a single one, along with a single set of achievements. Dungeon loot is now all personal loot. You can just get personal stuff now, so that's kind of nice. You don't have to roll for stuff really anymore, although I think you will still see occasionally some things to roll for. Some toys have been changed. I don't really know the details there. You'll have to dive into it yourself. And those of you who use the Blizzard Authenticator service will get extra backpack slots as a thank you to secure your account. That's kind of nice. So if you want like 4 or 8 backpack slots, you can just enable 2-factor authentication. But more than that, the big feature is the new zone scaling feature. I wrote an article on it on MMORPG.com, and basically what it does is it breaks the world of Azeroth and Outland and everything else like that, and Draenor, into different leveling brackets. Instead of necessarily having to worry about quests going green on you, you can actually level in Westfall, say, if you haven't leveled in it yet with a character, you can go there at level 45 and all the quests will be your level. You'll be playing with other players of other levels. Doesn't even matter what level they are. So the scaling system that was essentially in Legion is now pretty much scattered throughout the entirety of the game. There are still places that you're going to outlevel, like zones that are only 1 to 20, and there are some that are only for levels 40 and above. And then, of course, Warlords of Draenor is still the 90 to 100 expansion, and Legion is still the 100 to 110. But now you can completely skip the Burning Crusade and just go do Wrath of the Lich King, for example, or you can skip Cataclysm and just do Pandaria, or vice versa, whatever you want to do. So it's actually a really neat feature that has made leveling less of a repetitive task. I mean, it's still repetitive. Most of this content you've seen before if you've been playing World of Warcraft for a long time, but at least now you can sort of pick and choose your greatest hits and level up that way. And I don't know, it just kind of makes the whole thing feel a lot better. And knowing that you don't necessarily outlevel the zone. If you're like, oh, you know, I'm 24 and I'm still in Westfall, it's okay. You're still getting stuff that's appropriate for your level. All the loot in all the dungeons scale. The dungeons themselves scale too. Like 1 to 60 is now the dead mines instead of just, you know, what is that, level 15 to 25 or something like that. So some pretty cool stuff. Good reason to check out WoW if you're bored and want to go back and see what's going on. And next up is some Bless news. Some good news from the Bless Online team that they published a sort of dev talk, you know, self-made interview that talks about the 4 core pillars of the game that they're going to be working on. That includes the UI, making the combat better and more fun, more rhythmic, more action-oriented. That they're working on optimization big time. That is obviously one of the biggest thorns in the heel of Bless when it was in Korea. Before this relaunch, they're really going to nail down the optimization and the combat and the UI. And they're also going to be reworking the entire progression system to make the idea of leveling up more meaningful and creating your character and making the skills more impactful so that you actually feel like you're making your own build and stuff like that. So look forward to more from Bless very soon, because they actually say it's going to be in early access mode before too long, in the very near future. They didn't give an actual window, but obviously they're probably trying to get this sucker onto early access so they can get feedback and see if it's worth continuing this massive rebuild project in the West. And so I think we'll know within a few months whether or not Bless is worth playing. And last but not least, I said we were going to start off this episode with some Tryon news. Now we're going to end it with some good, depending on how you look at it, I think it's good, Tryon news. Rift is getting a server called Rift Prime, a subscription-only based progression server. Basically the kind of thing that players have been wanting for ArcAge. It seems that they're testing the waters in Rift. Prime servers will progress through the content at a rapid pace than the original launch, but it's like an EverQuest progression server. Now, they're also going to be dynamically matching characters to the zone's level. Dungeons will be dropping loot specific to your character's true level, and profession caps will be available to a single character. Participation awards are unlocked across your account, even to characters on other servers. So if you take the participation award from the Prime server, you can go back to a regular Rift server and still have those participation awards. PvP will be undergoing some changes in 2018 after the launch of the Prime server. This will include a new game mode and allowing servers to go full wide open free-for-all PvP. And for PvE, players can look forward to the revamp of a classic raid, and the 7th anniversary will feature some new activities as well. There were going to be no lockboxes. A significantly reduced cash shop store will be on this Prime server. I'm assuming it's going to be mostly cosmetics and mounts, kind of like you see in World of Warcraft now, but it will be a subscription-only server. There are going to be no free players whatsoever, no cash shop, other than the stuff that, you know, I'm guessing here. We're going to have to wait and see what Tryon does, but it's probably going to be mounts and cosmetics. You know, all the other stuff is going to be going out the window. Very, very interesting, to say the least, and if it works well for Rift, I can only imagine it's going to happen for ArcAge if they can get XL Games to agree to it. I really hope so. So that's it for this week, folks. I hope you've enjoyed the second new episode of MMOFTW in 2018. We'll be back next week with hopefully some more interesting news. It seems like the news is on the uptick here in the MMO world. Does that mean we're actually going to get some good games this year? One can hope. I'm Bill Murphy. Don't forget to subscribe to us on MMORPG.com without the dot on all your social media networks. And, you know, press that little like button down there, leave a comment for us, and don't forget to subscribe. Have a good one. Oh wait, I forgot to say my thing, right? Don't let a bad pug get you down. See, if you left, you missed that. Have a good one, guys.